Merkel's Conservative Party and the Social Democrat Party, led by Martin Schulz, still disagree on major topics. The two sides are still struggling with issues around labour law, reform of the health system and housing policy.
Yesterday we made good progress, but there are still some important points to be clarified. Under these conditions, I am going in with all my goodwill. Of course, also with a lot of expectation because long and difficult hours of negotiations are to be expected today.
Well, for more on this, Ira Spitzer joins us live from Berlin. Ira, is there any doubt at this point that we're actually going to see another grand coalition in Germany?
Well, as you mentioned there, the negotiators themselves set a deadline of Sunday, today, to finish up these negotiations. And what we're hearing now from German media reports from sources within those meetings is that it is highly likely that this will now be pushed into Monday. Now, what we don't know is whether there are still any substantive differences between the parties or whether they're just wrapping up some final details. That remains to be seen. There certainly has been a sense of urgency between Angela Merkel's conservatives and the center-left Social Democrats in the past week to kind of really go through some of the outstanding issues. They've already made agreements on migration and energy, so it appears just healthcare and some labor market reforms remain to be hammered out. But what perhaps is a bigger threat to the rerun of the Grand Coalition is the fact that the Social Democrat Party members, about 440,000 of them, will have a chance to approve this final deal by a postal vote. And that is very much up in the air still. The center-left party not necessarily happy about playing the junior partner to Merkel's conservatives since 2013. So even if the Social Democrat leaders agree to something tonight or tomorrow, it's not clear whether the members really want to do the Grand Coalition. So it's likely that we'll see a deal, but even then, still some uncertainty here.
Let's assume then that a deal does go ahead, although assuming anything in politics is always a dangerous business. But let's assume it does go ahead. Since this would be the same parties that have governed Germany since 2013, is there any reason to expect any major policy shift from Berlin?
Well, I don't know if we could expect really major policy shifts because, as you mentioned there, this Grand Coalition has been in charge of Germany. However, the Social Democrats do have a list of things that they would like to see changed, and one of the big things is Germany's relationship to the rest of Europe. The Social Democrats want to see greater engagement from the German side with other European countries, specifically partnering with France and their new leader, Emmanuel Macron, to take more of a leadership role in Europe. So I think that is something that the Grand Coalition could change a bit this second time around. But as you mentioned there, probably not really much of a sea change because it's the same politicians that have been in charge here for the past 5 years, probably remaining in charge of Germany.